Thanks, guys.
Questions?
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, no, I wanted to make sure they were good.
So, how did the calf react to playing? Are you all good now after a couple days?
I mean, yeah, I didn't feel nothing. It wasn't like I did no tests or nothing after the game. It was just like, after the game, had an off day, came in, worked out yesterday, had a practice today. That was it. I feel straight.
Did you guys focus on defense today or this bad? Just Chauncey kind of mentioned you guys have some sluggish there.
Yeah, we just, we haven't had much of an opportunity to practice. So obviously, when you get these opportunities with a couple of days in between games, you want to address some of the things where you have some slippage or some things you haven't been sharp at. And as a team, we have to understand that, and we got to be able to come in and talk through things and watch film and get on the floor and actually go through those situations and feel it and communicate through it and be able to handle it the next time it comes up in games. And that was the kind of day that we had today on both sides, offensively and defensively.
And what was kind of your assessment of watching Ant? Obviously you had some time off. What did you kind of see from him during that stretch? Watching from
with him, it's just been constant growth. From the moment he got here to his first year, then the second year, then his third year, all the way up to this moment. Last year he really got started. He had the opportunity to get extended minutes on the floor, extended minutes with the ball in his hands, getting comfortable. And I think this season, he's just continued on that. So being on the bench for the last, however many games, I don't even remember, 7 games that I missed. As a vet, and as his vet for all these years, and somebody that trains with him in the summer, and as a good friend of his, it's just a joy to see it happening. You know what I mean? It was given to me by the Mo Williams and the Earl Watsons of the world, the Earl Watsons, and they shared everything that they knew with me to make me my best. And I've always felt like it was my job to do the same for Ant, and I've said it a million times. He's the right kind of person, the right kind of talent to be given these things and to take off with it, and that's what he's doing. So I mean, it's just been a pleasure for me to see it happen.
What about with Shaedon? Have you kind of had to talk him through? He obviously had that great start to the year and hit a little bit of a rookie wall the last couple of weeks, and you kind of had to talk him through just like, this stuff is normal. This is just kind of what happened in your rookie season.
I mean, I've been on his case too. I've kind of taken the same approach with Shea as I did when Ant first got here. Just because they both just so talented, you know what I mean? You see what they can become, and it's a lot of things that, especially young players, it's a lot of things that they don't know at that stage that are a big part of them becoming what they want to become. When you want to be consistent, you want to be an elite level player. It's a lot of things that a lot of people aren't willing to do. It's a lot of things that come along with being disciplined and, checking all these boxes, and they can be tedious and they can be irritating and they can be stuff you just don't want to do sometimes. And, that's kind of been my route to success. And with those guys, that level of talent and athleticism, and they both good people, so it just makes me want to give it to them and share it with them so that they become the level of players that I know they can become. So. We seeing it with Ant, and like I said, I've taken the same approach with Shaedon. A rookie wall is normal. You play off your talent and your natural ability, and then when teams get familiar with you, they start to make it a little more difficult for you on both ends of the floor, and that's when you got to become more of a student. That's when you got to commit yourself more to the game if you want to continue having some success. And those are the conversations that I've been having with him.
Are you enjoying that part of the job? Like, is there some fulfillment when you do?
It is, and I think that's like that's the fun part about it for me, is because, as my dad would say, I'm being true to the game. I'm sharing it. I grew up with people telling me the game is sold, not told. And I'm gonna give it to them for free. So I enjoy seeing that process happen for them. As I mature in my career and as I get older, it's fun to see the guys that were rookies, and you hear people saying like, man, I don't know if he got it, and I don't know if he can do this, I don't know if he can do that, and then you see it start to unfold. It's just a fun thing to see.
Chauncey talked a little bit on the road about Ant still learning how to do the floor general.
Yeah.
And what's your assessment of him in that regard so far, in comparison to you at the same age?
I just think it's different, It's a process to become that type of presence on the floor, and it takes a lot of experience at managing those situations, you know, managing big leagues, managing a close game, and when you're not playing well or you're not shooting well, it's just a lot of situations that you have to go through to reach a level of just comfort in every situation, and where you know how to speak life into the team and you know how to control what's happening out there without it being, all right, I'm making shots tonight, or, you know, whatever the case may be. You just know how to handle what needs to be handled. And I think the biggest difference is I was on the floor from day one, you know. I was starting and I was on the team with vets, and, you know, we was getting to it by my second year where we was winning a lot of games. I think we won 54 games in my second year. And I was just kind of thrown into the fire. You know, it was like I had DV on my back, like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And, you know, the team also just depended on me at the same time. So I kind of was under that fire where I had to have some resolve. I had to pay attention. I had to be a student right away so that I could learn to manage those situations. So I would say that I just got a lot more experience than him faster than he got. So it was just a little bit different.
How much has Gary been doing practice? Have you been fully participating, or what's the...
I mean, he practiced today.
Everything? 5-on-5?
I mean, he did everything with us today. Yeah.
What is having a?
I mean, I don't... Well, I'm supposed to say that? Because I don't know. He practiced with us.
It's good to know.
He practiced today, so he must be feeling all right, I guess. I don't know.
What does it do for a team to have a rebounder like Josh at the guard position?
I think it's really helpful. You know, a lot of times you look at Nert and Drew and, you know, guys like Jeremy, and you like, all right, they got a lot of, you know, they got some size and athleticism and they're going to rebound. But when you got a guard that's physical and clearing out space and going in there and getting rebounds like that, for one, it gets us going in transition faster, because it's a ball handler has the ball. He's somebody that pushes the ball with pace, and I think that really helps us, you know, when he's pushing the pace and he has the ball in his hands. But it also just gives us another guy that's, you know, holding the opposing team to one shot, or allowing us to get the ball back quicker. You know, when you don't have good rebounders out there like him, it lessens your chance of coming up with the ball, you know. So I think he's very helpful for us on the boards in that way.
He's one of the best guards in contested rebounds as well. Like, a lot of guys, like, if you're going to leave the rebound for some guy, you can get it. But going up and fighting for it seems like it's a different level.
I mean, I blame him for our transition defense being bad sometimes, because when we see him running in there, we expect him to get it. So when I see him run in, I'm standing by the three-point line, because that might be an open three. So then it's taking me a second longer to get back when he don't get it. So I would blame that on him.
And what's your pitch for Jeremy being an all-star?
I mean, I think his game speaks for itself. As somebody who's been a part of that conversation for a long time, you know, I would just say that if he just continues what he's doing and we get on track and just start winning a lot of games like we started the season off, he definitely deserves it.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.